Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am your host, Abwon, and this is Before You Watch, spoiler-free reviews. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Anytime I drop a new video, you get the notification sent directly to your phone. I'm fumbling all over my words. That's that Jack for you. Anyway, HBO Max and Warner Brothers have this thing going on where all of their films come out the same day in theaters, if you could find one that's playing them, and on streaming services. Well, HBO Max. It's $15 a month. For me, it's free $99 because I get it for free with AT&T. And after 31 days, you got to pay to watch it. So Wonder Woman 1984 came out earlier this year, or like late 2020. The movie was garbage. The Little Things, the Denzel crime movie, came out. That movie was awful. Judas and the Black Messiah. Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield, same duo from Get Out. This movie, they're back. I don't really want to call it a racially charged drama, but I mean, it has racial undertones, so yeah, because it's about the Black Panthers. So I'm going to give you a quick synopsis. Daniel Kaluuya plays Fred Hampton. He's a chairman of the Black Panthers in Illinois, and Lakeith Stanfield is an informant. Huey P. Newton is locked up at this time, and the movie does a great job of keeping it with Fred Hampton and Wild Bill. At the end of the movie, I didn't know any other characters' names but those two, to be honest with you. I didn't even know Bill's full name. I just knew Wild Bill. That was it. So the first thing that stuck out to me about this film is that nobody uses the N-word. Usually movies like this, it's like political figures, law officers, anybody in like the corporate world, they're dropping a racial slur any chance they get, no rhyme or reason, right? Not in this film. They do say the word Negro, but not in a derogatory term like they would use like the N-word, right? Shout out to the directors and the writers and everybody like that, because they still got the point across without having to just go overboard with the racism. But with that being said, that's another thing that I noticed as well too. This movie is not about the racial divide as it is about the division within the actual Panthers. Some people don't like how Wild Bill's doing, what Wild Bill's doing. They don't agree with his motives. Some people are questioning him. He meets other Panther members that have questionable motives, and you see how they all deal with Fred Hampton and interact and engage with him, and you see what happens when he's not in the picture. So I just thought that was dope because it really gave you like a closer look as to how they were within that particular chapter. Now, the cinematography in this movie is amazing. They like the shots that they had. I was sitting here like, I would have never thought about doing something like this. So there's this one scene where Fred Hampton goes up, he knocks on the door because he's gonna go have a meeting with this other group called the Crowns, right? And instead of it just being a regular close-up of him at a door, they actually have the camera behind the bars of the door when they open the bars. So to me, I just thought that was really creative. Even scenes that are really dark, it's not too dark where you're like, yo, you gotta tune up the brightness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was really, the movie's just shot really, really well. And that really adds to it because there's not a lot of music going on. The music that they do have in it is really fitting for the scenes, but the acting is really what drives this film, because even though there are some dramatic scenes that happen, if it wasn't for the acting, it really wouldn't hit its mark. I mean, Daniel just like, him or Lakeith like stole the show. Lakeith had some scenes where he was really funny. I don't know if he meant to be funny, but they were funny. And there's another character from the film Get Out that's also in this movie, because you know Daniel and Lakeith are in the Get Out together, but there's another character from that film that makes his way into this movie. There's also a character from Sorry to Bother You that was in the scene with Lakeith that's in this movie also. So shout out to the casting director, making sure everybody gets jobs that have camaraderie with each other and all of that, right? The one thing I did not like about this film, and it's really not too much, there were maybe 2 scenes that dragged. They don't break the film, but those 2, up until those scenes, I was like on the edge of my seat. And then when those scenes took place, I was like, I'm not really feeling this. I could have took it out, blah, 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 whatever. The defining moment scene, I thought it could have been a little bit more intense. as great as the scene was, I just felt it really didn't hit the way it needed to. That's pretty much it, to be honest with you. I would definitely watch this movie again. A lot of times you watch these movies and you're just like, it was a good time to watch one time. Like One Night in Miami, that was my last review. Check that out. I said I liked it, but I would not watch it again. I feel like I could watch this again a few times, to be honest with you. They do show Wild Bill's the real person. They show him at the end, and they speak about like what everybody was doing after these events took place and things like that. And I'm actually interested in trying and watching that documentary. I'm gonna see if I can find it. It might be on like one of these like random like third-party websites where my computer could potentially get a virus, but I think that's a risk I'm willing to take. Anyway, Judas and the Black Messiah. You definitely saved this HBO Max Warner Brothers relationship. They're 1 for they're 1 for 3 right now. I'm gonna give it a 9 for 10, a 9 out of 10, a 9 out of 10. I'm gonna definitely watch it again. If you can get your hands on the HBO Max login, make sure you check it out. I'm about to premiere one of my short films called Aaron, starring Jen D, also my co-host from the Cinematics, and Adrian Chappell. You know what I'm saying? Be on the lookout for that. My other short film, Feed, is in post-production right now, and my other short film, Indigenous, is about to premiere I think either tomorrow or the day after that. Moonless Nights, I assistant directed that. That's in post-production right now. A lot of big things coming up. Hopefully you'll see one of my movies on HBO Max. Anyway, my next review is gonna be, I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure it out. I don't know. There's a billion things out right now. It's just so hard to find out. It's so hard to say. Let me know what you thought. Talk to me, I talk back. Hit me on Instagram, hit me on YouTube, whatever it is, you already know. Stay tuned for my next review or just watch some of my interviews, man. That's it, I'm out of here. Peace.